Hello?
Hey, Bobsi.
Hey?
It's summer. The weather is really awesome. Do you want to stay inside for 48 hours and create a game?
Welcome to the Game Jam of 2022.
Can we make it in time?
Two men on a mission, facing countless challenges.
I'm really not optimistic right now. I don't know what to do.
48 hours, one game, and a lot of stress. A concept that stretches far and wide into the unknown fields of imagination. With only the roll of a dice, you have to make a decision. You have to fight. Fight for glory. Fight for victory. Or die trying.
We actually managed to do it. That is insane.
Following theme. Roll of the dice.
Yes.
Oh
That
no.
theme immediately spark ideas of randomness and probability.
I'm thinking we should stay away from, what you normally think when you hear roll the dice and casino and stuff, right?
Think of progression. I think that would be a unique take on it.
Progression in terms of rolling randomness?
Yeah, just having some sort of progression to the game itself.
It could also be some sort of like roll of the dice could be some sort of forfeit that changes maybe the entire level, right? So we can build a level, or like we can build out the levels already, but when the game starts, some sort of action rolls and it will, change the level depending on what it rolls. Like for example, the floor is lava and then all the flooring turns into lava, something like that. So yeah, so we have 2D, 3D platformer, whichever one. That's the first idea. But what else do we have? I mean, you could easily, I think you could fairly easily apply like a roll the dice mechanic to a roguelike as well. This game, there's also a game type of this. This is a roguelike game as well. It's not roll the dice or something like this, but like this is just a fun idea for a roguelike. It's like you have to like build your snake, and then each little dot you have is a certain unit that you can see out here that you can like upgrade and stuff. You could add elements of random to this as well. Alright, so we are 2 hours in at this point. We have I'm trying to get ready to set up the whole shop system, chest system that we want to use. Now obviously we have a player that's going to be spawned, despawned constantly. So I've set up a game controller that holds some data. That's a data structure I've set up with base weapon scriptable here that holds all the data for the weapon and what level the weapon is, and holds data for all the levels. And then I have a base weapon setup, which is basically a normal mono behavior class, which is going to be on the actual prefab of the weapon. And in here I'm going to hold all the data of how the weapon is going to act. Hopefully this is going to turn out well. I've never built a structure like this, but I think it works super well actually. So I could go onto the player, or sorry, the game controller, give it the sword data twice, and it will give me 2 weapons and set the damage twice. And so you can see on here as well, the damage and attack speed is set in here. Now, so Sniffle With, my buddy in crime here, also set up a main scene here to play around with the tile set that we're going to use. We do currently have a weird bug here, which none of us have really worked with 2D tiles much before, I believe. I at least haven't. So we're not really sure what this line is, but I'm sure we're going to figure it out why there's a big line here. Oh yeah, and we also have some basic movement set up. So I just very briefly made a player movement script, which is super simple. Just I'm getting a vector axis which just keeps track of my input, normalize it, and then I add it to the rigidbody.move position function. Alright, so we are about 3 hours in almost, and I'm working on the dice system. So what we want is, in the shop there's sort of a dice you can upgrade. I'm working on this, making this dice roll so it looks in 2D but it actually acts in 3D, which is something I really like. So you can see right now it's calling whichever color wins. when the dice rolls. Now I just need to get this matched up with sort of all the information that's gonna roam around in all the scenes. But I think this is a really solid start. So just an update, it's currently 3 at night and we both agreed that we're heading to bed so we can get some rest and get up tomorrow morning and continue work. The status of where we are now is I've set up just 3 weapons. Set up a bow, multi-bow and sword data. But let's just equip the multi-bow and the bow and then we start. We have the shop UI right here where you can roll the dice. I'll show that later. But this is meant to show sort of the outcomes of the dice. This isn't set up functionality wise, the dice doesn't do anything yet. And then when you press this button for glory, you go out into the arena battle. It will select the random arena. Currently only just have this testing one where you can see you can go on and kill. If you go on to don't destroy onto the game controller, you can see that my player has health as well, which is tracked. If that reaches 0, he dies. If we're going back into the shop, you can see roll the dice, added this 3D animation thing that I showed you guys earlier. And it can process an outcome. Still gotta set all of that up. But everything so far is set up really modular. I gotta admit, I'm a little bit worried if we're gonna make it or not. This project might have turned out bigger. It's pretty much the same every single time I start any game development. It's like, I think, oh, it's just these 3 simple mechanics I need to make, and it just turns out to be such a mess. But I'm really trying to learn to work with modular systems. Hopefully everything turns out good. Yeah, there's still a lot needed to be done. I'm really unsure. If we can't make the basic gameplay loop tomorrow, I'm honestly fearing that we're not going to be able to upload something proper. Alright, so it's now Saturday, the 16th of July. It's 2. I've been going since about 10, so I've been going for about 4 hours, and so Snifflewith just got on like 30 minutes ago. So we are hard at work. So I've been working the whole morning on getting the more of the gameplay loop working. So you can see he actually managed to get the dice rolling on top of the UI here. So you can see it can now roll on top. Play for glory. Now you can see the dagger actually dashes me towards enemies with invisible frames. And when I hit them, they'll get knocked back. So yeah, I think that one was pretty neat as well. Pretty fun little thing. It feels really arcadey, which is really nice. And you can see when they all die, we go back to the shop. Of course, there's hopefully going to be some animations, a little time in between, a transition of some kind. And then you can move on to the next level. The arenas in the background, they just randomized from some arenas that we just built. Yeah, and the whole level system is working as well. So you can see the 3rd level here will actually have 5 enemies instead of 3. So you can see the 1st level only had the melee enemies, the 2nd level also had the ranged enemies, and the 3rd level has more enemies total. And how am I feeling about it now? I'm still, just like yesterday evening, I'm still rather concerned with whether we're gonna make it or not. It's definitely a big project. I feel like it's really unique, and I feel like we actually have a chance of doing pretty good in this game jam if we manage to pull this off. That being said, I think it is going to be rather heavy to pull off properly as well. Like, I think a big part of these game jams and the ones that get voted really well are the ones that actually gone up a lot into polish. And I'm really afraid that we're not going to have a lot of time for that. So I do think we can get the base gameplay loop down. My biggest issue is, can we manage to polish it? I just talked with Sir Snifflewith about what we're going to do. We've gotten a fair bit done, but still not nearly enough, which is what I feared. So as you can see, I just quickly worked on this main menu. It doesn't do much. We have the shop here with the dice that can roll. We have some actual functionality to the dice. Right now, normally the dice would only be able to roll once, but so you can see we can equip. But as you can see, the bow here worked. It's attached to the player. I've set up so we have 6 weapons, I believe. There's some screen shake there, as you can see. Like a fair bit has gotten done. So we do have our basic gameplay loop. Also, as you can see, the dice right now have these 3. If I now, without rolling the dice, goes into war, and let me just go and delete the enemies again. See, now the dice is upgraded, which is also a modular system that we can easily build upon. So the majority of the functionality is actually there. So we need to figure out what do we do, because the game doesn't look presentable. If you look at this, this is not a presentable state for anything. What we're thinking of doing is actually polishing everything that we have now. We do basically have the main gameplay loop. There are of course still quite a few bugs that needs to be fixed, but overall we do have a gameplay loop that is actually usable. With the whole, we go back and forth between the shop and the arena. It chooses an arena. We have a level system. We have weapons set up, 6 different weapons currently. the dice with the upgrades and everything works, which is what really matters. So we do have basically everything that we need for now already. It's just, yeah, it's bugs and it's ugly. It's really, really ugly, all of this. So yeah, we're thinking of polishing it. That's sort of the game plan from here. I gotta say, if we talk about how I feel right now at the moment, I'm not like lost, because I'm still really proud of what we have achieved. But there's definitely a fear in me of that we're not gonna have something that's presentable enough to actually show. Alright, so it is right now 4 at night, Saturday, which means tomorrow is the last day, which is really nerve-wracking. So we do basically, I want to say, have a game. Let me go to the main menu here. So I think I showed the main menu setup that we worked on, and if I go in here, right now this is kind of squished together. We'll fix that, obviously. We were just working on a background for the shop. This isn't the finished product at all, but it works as shown previously. And yeah, you can go out, battle, so on and so forth, back and forth. I mean, we basically have sort of a gameplay loop set up at this point. So that's super nice. I think this one is more, this video right now is more important, because I gotta be honest, the last like 5-6 hours we haven't actually gotten a lot done gameplay wise, which kind of sucks, can't lie. But I mean, the base gameplay loop is there. And as you can see, we have audio, and if I roll it and go out into sound, you can see some of the music changes as well. There's hit sound for the enemies, hit sound for the player, more feedback and stuff like that. I mean, it's really starting to feel like a finished game. I'm really proud of how far we've made it, and I gotta say, I'm still not too optimistic, but it's definitely better. I'm not scared now that we're not gonna be able to deliver something. Start recording, now go. That went pretty well.
That went well, yeah, I think it did.
Yeah, it went super well. I'm excited to, well, submit the damn game. Yeah, I hate this feeling. I just want to make sure it's submitted. I clicked the submit button and nothing happened, and now we are here.
Yeah, so the entire itch.io site went down.
1 hour ago they posted 1 hour left. That's the last tweet they've made. So we finally got the game submitted and the jam was over. Now I immediately had to leave the computer, and honestly, and that's my bad, not a lot of footage was actually taken the last day, because it was super stressful, super busy trying to actually polish the game. I've had so much fun making this video, and I really hope it shows in the video. Please don't take it too seriously. I know the editing is fairly poor, I'm not very good at editing, but it was just so fun. The intro video and the whole way through, it's just been fun. I hope it shines through, and I really hope you enjoyed it. A good friend of mine did an awesome job with that epic voiceover. And just the whole video has been super fun editing and filming, and it's just been an overall positive experience. This was our first entry ever into any game jam, and it's been a really fun experience. It was also awesome trying to work so intensely with Sir Snifflewith. If it's very new for me to try and work together with someone like this, and it actually worked out pretty well. I really hope this type of video was interesting to watch nonetheless, and thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.